Builder Mitchell Cole thought he had the ultimate trump card, his uncle ScoMo. That's Prime Minister ScoMo to the rest of us. Mitchell's clients say he bragged about his famous uncle to get their business, then took their money and left their homes a mess.
As they say, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your relatives. This is Scott Morrison's nephew, Mitchell Cole. While a politician chases the cameras, young Mitchell was on the run when we turned up to a job at Kirribilli, just a few hundred metres from the Prime Minister's official Sydney residence.
Hi Mitchell, my name's Alex Bernhardt from A Current Affair. We're here to talk to you about all the customers who have contacted us telling us that you have ripped them off. Why are you running away, Mitch? Just want to have a chat to you about...
And as we found out, the Prime Minister's nephew is accused of doing a runner on some of his customers as well.
He's taken our dreams and turned them into a nightmare. I'm sorry, can we stop?
Victims claim he's been dropping his uncle's name to convince them to trust him before taking off with their money.
It's terrible to feel like you've been taken for a fool like this just because you're trusting. And you wouldn't expect people to do these kinds of things because it's just not in our nature.
What do you think your uncle, Scott Morrison, would think about what you're accused of doing?
How would you describe Mitchell Cole?
He's a slime ball.
Do not trust him one bit whatsoever.
Just a snake.
This happy snap was taken last Christmas when Mitchell Cole was at Kirribilli House for the Prime Minister's family get-together. A photo that's now weight around the neck of Scott Morrison.
Do you want to tell us about the photos you've been showing them of your uncle, Scott Morrison? You have? Photos at Kirribilli House?
Faye Voyatsis says she paid Mitchell Cole $56,000 to do a balcony extension, pergola and some retaining walls. He seemed to have good credentials.
He told us that Scott Morrison was his uncle, that Mr Morrison's wife and Mitch's mother are sisters. He did show us pictures of, him and his extended family, including his uncle, Mr Scott Morrison, having Christmas together.
Faye claims the job was only ever half done.
He recovered our laundry roof. He cut the gutter and he hasn't tapped it off, so water just runs everywhere. This has been open for months. Birds get in, insects get in, and there's no care. There's no care in the work he's done at all. Our backyard has been in this state ever since he started work. I don't think he ever had any intention of finishing this job. He was just trying to get as much money out of us as possible and walk away.
Now, there's no suggestion ScoMo is responsible for his nephew's actions. Faye feels sorry for the PM, but she believes he should do something.
I don't think he's personally responsible for his nephew, but as our Prime Minister, now that he's aware of this and the fact that it's touched so close to home, I think it would be the right thing for him to do, to take it upon himself, to make sure things are put right.
What's your message to anyone thinking about dealing with Mitchell Cole?
Walk away. That's all I can say.
James McCall hired Mitchell Cole to tile his pool and erect some fencing. How did the Scott Morrison connection come up?
I was just outside just having a bit of a chat to him and we just striked up a conversation about family. Yeah, he just told me that he was related to Scott Morrison. It's his uncle.
So he's trying to gain your trust by telling you that he's related to the Prime Minister?
He either uses that to make himself look legit to people like myself, and he seemed like a genuine human being.
So James says he paid Mitchell Cole $33,000 for the job, but quickly realised something wasn't right.
He'd message me and say, I'll be around tomorrow and I'll see you then, and he'll never show up.
Mitchell Cole was never seen again, but he sure left his mark on James's backyard.
You can clearly see he's left all the panels as they are. This is supposed to be sheeted properly. Gate is supposed to have a brand new lock on it. He's supposed to fix it.
It's still not secure, really.
No, it isn't, and I've got 2 young kids. I've just had to fix it up like that so it doesn't swing open.
And the pool?
So I'll show you an example of how bad of a job he's done. Look at that.
It just peels off.
Straight off. It has to be all ripped out and redone again.
They found all the defects that hadn't been done.
Vanessa Corser and Peter Flanagan used Mitchell Cole to do an extension on their house. So, Peter, this was the deck that Mitch was supposed to do.
Yeah, so this deck here and that's the room, and yeah, he, took the money and didn't do a thing, and we ended up doing it all ourselves.
In total, they claim they paid him $26,000, later realising he didn't even hold a building licence.
He just stopped communicating, he disappeared.
An absolute mess. We actually had no front door that we could actually access our house from. I've just tried to go down all legal avenues to try and, communicate and recoup money.
Mitchell Cole is well known to the Department of Fair Trading. Convicted 6 times and fined more than $60,000 for carrying out work without a licence. But he still continues to operate, changing business names multiple times to avoid getting caught.
I'm actually surprised that he's still been allowed to get away with this, to be honest. That's where my shock is. Here he is thumbing his nose at the law, still out there thinking, oh, look at me. So my question is, where does it stop?
The Prime Minister is aware of the allegations surrounding his nephew. Earlier this month, he responded to a letter from James McCall describing the information he relayed to him as deeply concerning. He acknowledged Mitchell is my nephew by marriage and as a result occasionally attends family events. However, that is the extent of contact I have with Mitchell. The PM also urged James to report any of his concerns to the police and other relevant authorities, telling him Mitchell, like anyone else, should be held fully accountable for any of his actions. No one should have to go through what you have experienced.
What I'm hoping is that he'll see that he'll feel that it's the right thing to maybe get behind his nephew's victims and support us to make sure that we do obtain justice, and that whatever punishment needs to come through to this person it's done so.
A call-up for Christmas at the Lodge seems unlikely for Mitchell Cole this year.
Is James McCall going to get his $30,000 back? What about Faye? She's owed about $50,000. Haven't you got anything to say?
Prime Minister Morrison reiterated to us his deep concerns about the allegations and again urges anyone affected to go to police. If you've had a similar experience with Mitchell Cole, please let us know. Our email address is on your screen now. Mitchell's victims have also set up a Facebook page and you'll find the link to that on our website.